What is a single user? It is an operating system that allows a single user to perform only one task at a time is called a single user operating system. Functions like printing a document, downloading images, etc., can be performed only one at a time. Examples include MS-DOS, COM-OS, etc. Next is the fixed partition. The main memory is divided into partitions of equal or different sizes. The operating system always resides in the first partition while the other partitions can be used to store user processes. The memory is assigned to the processes in contiguous way. In fixed partitioning, the partitions cannot overlap. A process must be contiguously present in a partition for the execution. Examples of fixed partition. Next is the dynamic partition. Dynamic partitioning tries to overcome the problems caused by fixed partitioning. In this technique, the partition size is not declared initially. It is declared at the time of process loading. The first partition is reserved for the operating system. The remaining space is divided into parts. The size of each partition will be equal to the size of the process. The partition size varies according to the need of the process so that the internal fragmentation can be avoided. Examples of dynamic partition. Next, best fit versus first fit allocation. The best fit deals with allocating the smallest free partition which meets the requirement of the requesting process. This algorithm first searches the entire list of free partitions and considers the smallest hole that is adequate. It then tries to find a hole which is close to actual process size needed. Advantage: memory utilization is much better than first fit as it searches the smallest free partition first available. Disadvantage: it is slower and may even tend to fill up memory with tiny useless holes. Examples of best fit allocation. In the first fit approach is to allocate the first free partition or hole large enough which can accommodate the process. It finishes after finding the first suitable free partition. Advantage: fastest algorithm because it searches as little as possible. Disadvantage: the remaining unused memory areas left after allocation become waste if it is too smaller. Thus request for larger memory requirement cannot be accomplished. Examples of first fit allocation. Next is the deallocation. Deallocation or deallocate is where a block of information is released from the computer's memory to be used by a different program. A process has to be loaded into the RAM for its execution and remains in the RAM until its completion. Finished processes are deallocated or removed from the memory and new processes are allocated again. This is how the OS works with allocation and deallocation. In high-level programming, memory deallocation is done by garbage collection. The absence of this in low-level programming makes deallocation even more necessary. There are different kinds of memory models that have different deallocation techniques. Examples of deallocation. And lastly, the relocatable dynamic partition. In relocatable dynamic partition, memory manager in operating system relocates the program. That is, all empty blocks are gathered to form one single block of large memory enough to accommodate some or all of the jobs waiting in the queue. Special purpose registers used for relocation. Bounds register stores highest location accessible by each program. Relocation register contains the value that must be added to each address referenced in the program. Must be able to access the correct memory addresses after relocation. If the program is not relocated, 0 value stored in the program's relocation register. Examples of relocatable dynamic partition.